Your name came up in a private meeting you weren't invited to. Someone made a comparison about your appearance that shocked everyone in that room. This wasn't casual gossip or random conversation. This was a serious discussion about you when you weren't there to defend yourself or even know it was happening. The person who told you this information risked their position and relationships to warn you about what was said. What they revealed explains so much about the recent changes you've been noticing in how people treat you. Those sudden glances, the different energy when you walk into rooms, the way conversations seem to shift when you appear, it all makes sense now. This comparison has put you on people's radar in a completely new way. You deserve to know the truth about what was said because it's already affecting your life whether you're aware of it or not. The words spoken in that meeting have created ripples that are changing your social reality. Some people are now seeing you with completely different eyes, while others are feeling threatened by this new perspective. This revelation isn't just information. It's a turning point that explains everything you've been sensing but couldn't quite understand until now. They compared your appearance to someone successful, attractive, and powerful. The moment those words were spoken, everything shifted in that room. People who had never really noticed you before suddenly sat up and took notice. Others who thought they had you figured out realized they had been completely wrong about you. This comparison made everyone present understand that they had been underestimating you all along. What you've always possessed was finally being recognized, but it took someone else pointing it out for them to see it. The comparison wasn't just about looks, it was about presence, energy, and the kind of magnetic quality that successful people carry. Some people in that meeting felt genuinely surprised by this observation. Others became interested in you for the very first time. But here's what's really important. Some individuals felt threatened by this revelation because it challenged their previous assumptions about where you fit in the social hierarchy. This explains the sudden shift in attention you've been receiving lately. Why certain people are now treating you differently, both in positive and negative ways. The comparison has elevated your perceived status, and not everyone is comfortable with that change. Your social position has been redefined by words you weren't even there to hear, and the effects are already reshaping your reality. You've probably been noticing changes but couldn't quite put your finger on what was different. Now you know why? The increased stares and glances when you enter rooms aren't in your imagination. People are genuinely seeing you with new eyes because of what was said in that meeting. Pay attention to how people who previously ignored you now make an effort to start conversations. They're suddenly interested in your opinions, asking about your plans or just finding reasons to be around you. This isn't coincidence. It's the direct result of their shifted perspective. Notice how certain individuals seem nervous or uncomfortable around you now. They're struggling to adjust to this new way of seeing you, especially if they had dismissed you before. Some people are even acting defensive or competitive with you because your elevated status makes them question their own position. You're receiving invitations to events you weren't included in before. Compliments about your appearance seem more frequent and more genuine. Your social media interactions are increasing from unexpected people who never engaged with you previously. Watch how your presence now affects group dynamics differently. Conversations might pause when you approach because people are more aware of you. Some individuals might seem to defer to you more, while others work harder to maintain their social position. The feeling that people are talking about you when you're not around is probably accurate, but not necessarily in a negative way. Physical comparisons have the power to instantly reshape social perception in ways that years of gradual change cannot achieve. When someone compares you to a person who is already recognized as successful or attractive, they're essentially transferring the person's status onto you in the minds of everyone who hears it. This is the psychology of third-party validation at work. People needed someone else to point out what was always there because we often see what we expect to see rather than what's actually in front of us. Once that comparison was made, it gave everyone permission to notice qualities they had previously overlooked. The seeing with new eyes phenomenon happens when our existing mental frameworks get challenged by new information. Your colleagues, friends, and acquaintances had categorized you in their minds, and this comparison forced them to recategorize you into a different mental folder entirely. There's also a halo effect at play here. When you're compared to someone successful and attractive, people automatically assume you might possess other positive qualities that successful people typically have: confidence, ambition, intelligence, or soft skills. Some people feel threatened when others rise in perceived status because it disrupts established social hierarchies. They worry about their own position becoming less secure or less special. This explains why certain individuals might react negatively to your elevated status. The most important thing to understand is that this comparison has repositioned you in social hierarchies everywhere you go. People are now evaluating you through a completely different lens, and that changes everything about how they interact with you. This comparison has set off a chain reaction that's touching every area of your life. New opportunities are appearing that weren't available before because people who make decisions are now seeing you as someone worth investing in. Different types of people are approaching you with interest, professionally, socially, and romantically. However, not all changes are positive. Some relationships are becoming strained because certain people feel insecure about your elevated status. They're struggling to adjust to this new dynamic where you're no longer the person they could overlook or take for granted. The most significant change might be in your own self-perception. Knowing that others see you this way is naturally affecting how you carry yourself. There's a confidence that comes from understanding your true social value, and people are responding to that energy shift as much as they're responding to the original comparison. This knowledge empowers you to make strategic choices about your relationships and opportunities. You can now see which people were only treating you well because they didn't perceive you as competition, and which ones genuinely appreciate you regardless of status. New romantic possibilities are opening because people who might have dismissed you before are now seeing you as relationship material. Professional opportunities are emerging from increased visibility. You're on people's radar for promotions, projects, and collaborations. Some individuals are trying to diminish you to counteract the comparison, making subtle comments designed to bring you back down to where they're comfortable having you. Recognizing this behavior protects you from their attempts to undermine your newfound position. This moment requires careful navigation because how you handle this transition will determine whether this elevated status becomes permanent or just a temporary shift. The most important thing is not letting this information go to your head in a way that makes you arrogant or entitled. True confidence is attractive, but overconfidence based purely on external validation can quickly become off-putting and cause people to withdraw their newfound respect. Learn to gracefully accept increased attention without seeming like you're fishing for more compliments or validation. When people give you compliments now, a simple thank you is more powerful than deflecting or asking for more details about what they mean. Develop strategies for dealing with people who now feel threatened by you. This might mean being extra gracious and humble around certain individuals while they adjust to the new dynamic. Kill them with kindness rather than allowing their insecurity to create conflict. Maintain your authentic relationships during this transition by being transparent with people you truly trust. Let them know you're aware of the changes happening and that your core values and personality haven't changed. Even if others are seeing you differently, protect yourself from people who suddenly show interest in you but might have ulterior motives. Not everyone who's newly attracted to your elevated status has genuine intentions. Some people are drawn to perceived success or attractiveness for superficial reasons. Use this knowledge to make better social and professional choices. You now understand your social value more clearly, which means you can be more selective about where you invest your time and energy. Pay attention to confident body language now that you know how others perceive you. Stand taller, make better eye contact, and take up appropriate space in rooms. Your physical presence should match the elevated way people are seeing you. Consider how you dress and present yourself to enhance this new perception without seeming like you're trying too hard. Small upgrades to your appearance can reinforce The positive comparison while staying true to your personal style. Set appropriate boundaries with people who only now show interest after hearing about this comparison. You deserve relationships with people who valued you before others pointed out your worth. Most importantly, stay true to yourself despite external validation. This comparison revealed what was always there. It didn't create something new. This increased visibility creates a powerful window of opportunity that won't stay open indefinitely. People's attention spans are short, and social perceptions can shift again. If you don't take strategic action while you have this momentum, leverage this elevated status for your professional goals. If you've been wanting a promotion, new job, or business opportunity, now is the time to make your move. People are more likely to see you as capable and worthy of advancement when their perception of you has been enhanced. Use this moment for strategic networking. Attend events you might have skipped before, engage in conversations with people who previously seemed out of your league, and build connections while you have increased social capital. Convert this attention into meaningful relationships rather than just enjoying the temporary boost to your ego. Focus on substance behind the enhanced perception by developing skills and qualities that match your elevated social status. Make memorable impressions while you have increased attention. People are more likely to remember you positively when they're already primed to see you in a favorable light. This is your chance to create lasting positive associations. However, remember that sustained success requires more than just initial perception. Build on this momentum by consistently presenting yourself well and developing the qualities that will maintain this elevated status long term. The key is recognizing that this comparison has given you access to opportunities and relationships that might have taken years to develop naturally. Don't waste this advantage by being passive or assuming it will last forever without effort on your part. This comparison has permanently shifted your social position in ways that will continue affecting your life long after people forget the exact words that were spoken. Your confidence and self-image have been fundamentally altered by understanding how others truly see you. This moment represents a clear before and after in your life story. You now know what you're capable of in terms of social influence and personal presence. That knowledge will inform your choices and behavior moving forward in ways that reinforce your elevated status. The positive changes this revelation brought need to be sustained through consistent action and presentation. You've been given insight into your true social value, but maintaining that recognition requires growing into this new perception of yourself. Use this experience to develop skills and qualities that match your enhanced social status. If people see you as successful and attractive, develop the confidence, competence, and character that successful, attractive people typically possess. This knowledge teaches you about the incredible power of perception in social dynamics. You now understand how quickly and dramatically people's opinions can change when they receive new information or perspectives. The responsibility that comes with increased social influence shouldn't be taken lightly. People are watching you more closely now, and your actions have greater impact on others. Most importantly, this transformation from being overlooked to being noticed gives you empathy for others who might currently be undervalued, allowing you to help them in ways others helped you. This revelation didn't come to you by accident. It came because you needed to know this information right now to take advantage of the opportunities it creates. The person who shared this with you believed you deserved to understand what was happening behind the scenes. Don't waste this opportunity by doubting yourself or dismissing the significance of what you've learned. Your enhanced social position is real, but it won't last forever without strategic action on your part. Use this knowledge to make the changes in your life that you've been putting off. Apply for that position, start that conversation, make that move. The timing couldn't be better because people are already primed to see you as capable and worthy. The window of opportunity this comparison has created is open right now, but social perceptions can shift again. Step into your power while you have this momentum and show appreciation for receiving this insider information by taking meaningful action. Your moment to shine is here. Don't let it pass by unused.